Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to All Things Are Potable. This is our second episode.
Well, hold on a minute. Actually, though, is it really?
First episode.
Okay.
Funny story coming at you on this very first episode of All Things Are Potable. All right, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. We are so glad that you chose to take some time to listen to us for whatever reason you are doing that.
Okay.
My name is Ryan,
Michael.
and I'm sure that most of you watching this are probably friends and family. But for those of you who don't know us, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
We're
are we doing here?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. This podcast is about anything and everything. And for those of you who may have heard, followed us for a while or whatever, followed me for a while. I did a podcast a couple years ago with the same name, All Things Are Potable, and I had a whopping 3 episodes. And that was it. And I realized it was very difficult to do a podcast. And so now I brought in the expert, the man, the myth, the legend.
That's ridiculous. Let's see if we can get to 3.
Yeah, exactly. That's the number. That's my number. Beat it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just out here doing it, but All Things Are Potable was I thought it was kind of a cool name. Not just because I came up with it, but we just want to talk about anything and everything. And some of you have already given us some feedback via Facebook, asked us some questions, and so thank you for that. We just want to talk about whatever. We don't want to be controversial or anything, but we're going to talk about anything and everything. So I guess we'll just get started. Michael, Republican or Democrat, and why? Go.
Did you get the jab, and why or why not?
Yeah.
No, like I was just thinking about it. So the All Things Are Potable, is that a play on Scripture?
Yeah. With God, all things are possible.
Makes sense. I was hoping it wasn't the all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient reference. Like, what are we going to get into?
Yeah, who knows? We're going to get into the expedient things.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's
or all the things are lawful. Who knows? We'll talk about all of it.
Yeah.
So, hey, New Year, 2024. This podcast is probably dropping in February. So little bit past the New Year. Hopefully, your New Year's resolutions are. Did you do any New Year's resis?
Well, hold on. Before we get to that, our goal was to get this thing cranked out in January. Why didn't that happen?
Oh, I was going to try and breeze past that.
Yeah,
okay.
I know you were.
Funny story. We filmed this podcast at this time. We filmed it a week ago. Was it a week ago?
Sure.
And I have this big fancy camera, and I'm like, man, let's go. This is going to be awesome.
I had plenty of nerves.
Yeah, we were both pretty nervous, and we filmed it. And I got home, and I was like, man, I'm ready to do this. I didn't edit it that day, but I got home later and was like, kind of just gonna plug it in and just see what kind of footage we got, and it was terrible. It was so bad. The footage, the camera lens that we had was zooming constantly in and out of Mike's face and then my face, just going back and forth. And it was very bad. And I was very frustrated. And to sit down, and I thought like when you upload stuff into our video editing software, sometimes it's just blurry for a second because you're like, well,
rendering or something.
Yeah, it's rendering. And it wasn't that.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Well, and like we laid down like an hour and a half, hour.
Oh,
like,
for sure. Yeah.
Before edit or anything.
Yeah. Just pure content that no one will ever see. It has since been deleted and is out there floating in the ether somewhere.
Oh, you let it go. I didn't know. Like we had said, we could just throw an audio only out there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I just didn't want to do audio. I mean, some people probably can drive down the road and listen. Sure. I'm like, I want to watch it. Yeah. I want to watch all of the podcasts.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean,
facial expressions is kind of nice. Or if there's a visual reference, sometimes you can edit that in.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, I just want to see it.
Yeah.
Just want to see it.
I get that. So here we are. We're like, okay, we had like a dry run.
Yeah.
We know kind of how it goes, how to play off of each other. And we can just hit some of the same stuff again and may or may not hit some of the same stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know. I kind of forgot what we already talked about.
Yeah, well, I have some notes, but...
Okay, good, because I don't.
We could dive into it. Okay, so we definitely kicked off, and we should kick off with, it's a new year.
Yep.
I mean, we're a month in, but New Year's resolutions. You asked, did I have any?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Not really. Like,
okay.
I'm not really a New Year's resolution guy.
Me neither. I don't set goals. I'm not goal-oriented.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, what is it? failing to plan is planning to fail, something
Yeah.
like that. No, I don't know. Like I've done it.
Yeah.
In fact, I got this buddy that I work with who he has this awesome like workout approach to every new year. He's like, new year, new me, January 1st, I'm starting the workout, I'm going to eat better. And then when that fails, he's like, false start, no big deal. I still got multiple downs on offense.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit this thing in February.
I admire people who could do that, bro. I really struggle with that.
Okay, but listen, gets better. So February, failure, right? So then he's like, that's okay. You know what? Because 3-2-1, March 21st is my day. 3-2-1, go. And so, but he has this thing like every month.
Yeah, every time.
But he does it every year.
Yeah, March, got to march on.
It's kind of like a thing. So I've been there, done that. But like, I mean, I have things I'd like to do. But for me, I'll tell you, and we don't have to get into all of it. We can come back to it. But like, so it's a big like milestone birthday for me this year.
The big 40.
40.
You'll be in a home soon. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. I got to talk to Caden. Buddy, no. But like, I don't know. I wasn't sure like what I'd want to get done by 40.
Yeah.
But as the years gone on, like there's been a few things that I kind of added to the list. So some stuff, I don't know if it'll ever happen. Like I've been toying around with skydiving. We'll see. I mean, I feel like the older I get, the less I want to do it.
I think the older you get, the less you should want to do it.
It's like show up before the Lord.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you got here,
Yeah,
right?
You show up in
dummy.
heaven with a parachute.
But like, I don't know what, you know, like if that's actually a thing I need to do, like prioritize and just make myself do it. I'm kind of afraid of heights. So that's kind of weird that it's on the list, but it just feels bold and whatever. So there's other stuff in there too, but no true like New Year's.
Yeah, but
thing.
you that Road to 40, the book thing you're doing is pretty cool.
Yeah, so 40 books before I turned 40. So right after my 39th birthday, I said, all right, let's crush 40 books. It didn't have to be something I've never read before, but I wanted it to be something fresh and authentic, you know, real. So it's been fiction, nonfiction. It's been like, I got some like self-help in there. There's some like theological stuff in there. There's some goofy stuff in there. Like there's just all kinds of a mix of things. And there's been some great books. The thing I don't love is because I know some people read like way more than that. For me, it's been a challenge.
Yeah.
Like there's been books I've gotten like a third or whatever the way into, and I would quit the dumb thing.
Bro.
But I got to finish it because I feel like I have to hit my mark.
Yeah, I feel like I do that a lot, and I feel like I see where it's going, and I'm like, all right, come on. I do that with movies too, though. I get through them, and I'm like, all right, I know what's gonna happen. I'm kind of over it at that point.
Yeah.
Oh
no, I'm here for the ride.
Really got me though.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. No, before we get into it. No, like I just fiction really has been fun for me. I've enjoyed like some Star Wars stuff. I've enjoyed some like kind of like thriller mystery type things. Some stuff like Ted Decker's one of my favorite authors.
I don't know him.
Oh yeah, he's amazing. Like Frank Peretti did some like The Visitation and Piercing the Darkness, This Present Darkness.
Those all sound like horror books.
Oh man, like well maybe. Church is that way to some people.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's spiritual.
No, like so. I'll probably get. I don't know which one was first. Maybe it was This Present Darkness and then Piercing the Darkness, but because those are first and sequel. But it really he focuses a lot on. There's a spiritual world that's very real, and just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not happening.
Is it like a book that is like it's like real stuff, but in like a made up world?
Made up world, made up characters.
Okay.
Totally fictional stuff,
Gotcha.
but there's like
But good biblical principles.
Yeah, good biblical principles, generally speaking. And so like, so he's of that. But what Ted Decker does is, I don't think you could go through the whole book and not realize, or many of them, and not realize that this is like a Christian author with allegory and metaphor. But the more you know about faith, the more allegory and metaphor you see.
Yeah, like C.S. Lewis with the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, and in fact, there's a Circle trilogy that he does that is like it's amazing. And like the more you get into it, the more you see the crossover. But anyways, like some of those I've really loved going through. And then there's been some other stuff where, you know, like I don't do like the thriller, like the serial killer stuff as much as I used to, but he's really good at that too.
Gotcha.
He actually, so let's talk about that. One thing that he does really good, and I think we need to be better at even as Christians, is he makes sure to paint sin black,
Oh,
evil,
nice.
dark. So I would say like there's times like you're reading, you're like, this is maybe too much. This is edgy. And he's like, yeah, you can't like whitewash and clean it up for
Yeah.
the author at the risk of, or for the reader at the risk of minimizing like how nefarious the enemy is,
Yeah.
or how maniacal,
Yeah.
evil and sin.
So you said nefarious, dark, and that, like he paints this sin
Yeah.
in like a like kind of a bad light. So
Yeah.
one of the questions that we had come in was, how can we walk in faith in today's world? Like it's obviously a dark world out there. So I thought that was a really good question that we had come in on Facebook, and also going forward, you guys comment on this is on YouTube that you're watching this. So comment, and we will try to answer your questions. That's what we want to do. So
Yep.
so yeah, one of the questions that we had, how to walk in faith in today's world, and that is a great question. I think because it is so dark and awful out there, and it feels like everything is against people who walk in faith today.
Yeah, we're in an environment where like the environment's trying to take you out, beset you. Like, I mean, how many times I use the phrase like we live in a fallen world.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Don't forget that, right? And then even like as much as you can kind of create an environment around you, which I think we should talk about, that sets you up for success and creates safe places and check-ins or whatever. Like, we still live in a fallen world.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. You can't get away from it. And I think I was kind of thinking about the question because I don't know. My answer would be to how do we live in today's society as Christians when everything is so anti-Christ right now?
Okay.
I think my answer would be they've been doing this a long time. Like, even if you look back at the apostles,
Yep.
and I think what they had was a made up mind. Like, they were just gonna, this is who they were, They had to get grounded foundationally in doctrine, in unity, and they kind of just had their mind made up, and that was it.
Yeah, I think like you talked about how they had to get rooted and grounded. It is so important that you're just steady putting the good stuff in you.
Yeah.
Right. So like what you choose to listen to and watch, and like obviously there's going to be like entertainment and fun and all that, like whatever, all that stuff that isn't necessarily based in faith and like whatever, like specific how to walk in faith. But you do need that stuff intentionally injected into your life, steady Bible reading.
You're going to eat something.
Life. Yeah, absolutely. So, you need that. I think accountability and somebody you can be authentic with.
That's so good too, is the real. I think that's something that the church, especially this younger generation, that they're kind of getting back to, is like the real, they don't care about the studio stuff. They don't care about all the whatever. They want what's real. Yeah. And I think that has to be in the church as well. We can't walk around and act like we got everything together. We can't walk around and act like, we have no issues, because we do.
Right.
And sometimes that authenticity, I feel like some people can hide behind authenticity. Like, I'm just so real. It's like,
Yeah, you're also carnal.
Yeah, you are. But
but no. So all kidding aside, though, right? Like, it's not an excuse,
right,
for not trying to do better. Walk in faith and all. But it's impossible to keep up the act if that's your goal.
Certainly, it's exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, you see that. I think people. Like a lot of the deconstruction movement and like folks that, which we could probably get into.
Bro,
but,
that's my soapbox.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Okay. Yeah, like I feel like a lot of that's based in folks trying to keep up an image or a performance, whether they realize that that's what it is or not.
Yeah.
And I know because I've been there and done it myself.
Yeah.
Right. So, real recognize real. You could see like, oh, I get why they quit. Felt the same way, and that's made me want to quit or whatever. So
I think especially we're in leadership, and there are other people who are in leadership, and to like be real about your faults and your struggles is very tough. It's very tough.
Well, because like you don't want to give folks You don't want to create an obstacle in their minds to where they feel like they can't have confidence in your leadership.
True. Yeah.
So there's something in there. There's a balance in there. But at the same time, you don't want to create like an image or a leadership style that is unattainable.
Yep.
That makes people feel like, I can't do that, so why am I here?
Yeah. Why even try?
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. So I think there's that. I love what you said about being grounded and being, rooted in spiritual disciplines, which I think are extremely important. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were talking about spiritual disciplines. And it was a lot of like, how do I do this and how do I go about this? It's like, yeah, okay, maybe not so much worry about the how, just do.
That's huge.
Yeah.
How long should I? Well, why don't you just start by trying it?
Just go for it. Because it is, I mean, bro, like, again, prayer can be hard sometimes, bro. It is a muscle
Really?
that
For you?
Yeah. Sorry, Pharisee.
Oh man.
But it is. It's like it's a muscle that you have to really flex. And there are plenty of times that I get into a prayer and I don't know what to say.
Well, and you're saying like, okay, I know there's things I probably need to, but then when does it turn into just like a routine? And it's like, routine's healthy,
Sure.
but also if it's never more than that, then that can feel very mundane.
Yeah, vain repetition, I think is what the Bible calls that.
Right.
So how do you walk in faith today? I think just be real, be authentic, don't be afraid to ask for help, and just have a made-up mind that you are going to, this is who you're going to be. This is what I'm going to do. I live for God. If everyone around me says I'm not going to do that, you're like, well, I'm sorry about you because I'm about to, and I think that people respect that. People with any kind of sense respect that, even if they don't believe the same way you do, that they're like, no, he's standing on what he believes, and I respect that. At least that's how I look at it.
Yeah, you got to have a certain amount of grit and determination. Like you can't make it by that alone, but there needs to be that's that made up mind you reference.
Yeah.
And then I think you need to constantly inject some positivity in the form of gratitude and praise and worship. Music isn't for everybody, but being able to find a style that communicates the right things is something that helps me. I try to. There'll be times I'm like, I know I'm not in a good headspace. Let me start by getting some music that's going to help redirect my thoughts.
Yeah.
And I know, so I'm intentionally saying, here's the things I'd rather be thinking about. Help me with that.
What kind of music are you getting into?
Oh my goodness, this is where people are going to turn it off, right? Like everyone likes to talk about how varied their playlist is. It's pretty varied, but my favorite is Christian hip hop.
Okay.
So and then probably right up there with it is a lot of your modern day like praise and worship.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I'm into that. The Christian hip hop, I'm a little
not as much.
Yeah, I'm not schooled as much on that.
Yeah.
There was a guy I kind of started. I guess he's been around forever. I think.
Okay.
Is it KJ52?
Absolutely.
But I called him KJ52.
He'll tell you in his song.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he says it in a song quite a few times.
Five fishes and 2 loaves, or 5 loaves and 2 fishes.
Okay,
rather.
I was going to say, is that why?
Yeah, I think his name is, those are his initials, and then 5-2 is
Kevin James.
5 loaves and 2
I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, that's right.
Paul Blart out there rapping.
He's fantastic. He's just kind of goofy. And
yeah, he is goofy.
Not too serious or
anything. And he kind of he raps what I would consider with like a lazy voice.
He does. So I would say he's hip hop.
Okay.
I wouldn't say he's necessarily rap, if there's a distinction.
I think there is. I looked that up the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
I think, real talk, I looked that up the other day. I was like, what's the difference between, because I think hip hop.
Yeah.
Or let's see, rap.
Originated from hip hop. Hip hop's where it starts.
Yeah, okay.
Hip hop communicates the culture.
Yeah, hip hop, it can be a lot of things, but rap can only be one thing.
Yeah,
I think is what the main difference was.
Okay. I'd love to look into it more, but that's awesome.
What is Toby Mac? Is he rap? Or no, he's hip hop? No?
He is not a rapper.
Okay.
He does rap, I think, and so maybe I guess he could.
Well, Jason Aldean raps.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Now, and I think there's some like lines. I'm a big into lyrics. I'm really big into what the words say, and so I think that's why I'm inclined myself towards Christian hip hop or Christian rap.
Those dudes are creative, man.
Well, I love the fun. I love the double meaning. The wordplay. Having a good, just being able to kind of say one thing like a joke, but at the same time make a point.
Yeah.
And so I love that part. But I also love you can have a gospel presentation. You can communicate like what's really going on. So what I was saying, so what hip hop is that was always supposed to be a reflection of the culture and a way to speak against sometimes like authority and what's going on in the neighborhood.
So you have a problem with authority?
Go ahead. Absolutely. Sometimes it's a problem. I think there's a big, hey, maybe instead of like tearing stuff up, why don't we communicate our message?
Yeah, build other people up. Yeah.
And there's a lot of negativity in that. So I'm to each his own, but I'm very specific about, I want to know, you can even be branded a Christian hip hop artist. I want to know when I listen to your music, does it feel real? Does it feel authentic? And for the most part, can I leave that feeling like challenged, convicted, positive, encouraged, motivated, something that's going to push me in a good direction rather than get me in my feels. I've listened to plenty of stuff that's like, yeah, that's right. It's me against the world. And it sounds amazing. And the greatest rapper of all time does that better than probably anyone else. Eminem, I think, right?
Yeah.
But like,
I've never heard of him, but
yeah. He's kind of Skittles, named after a candy bar.
Yeah, he is. Crazy.
But that's the thing, right? It's like it's kind of like what Michael Jordan did in basketball. He was constantly creating a narrative that it's everybody against me, and there's always like an enemy to attack, and let's ride or die. Let's go.
Yeah, that could build. I could see where that.
It's
could
cool.
Be like,
it's fun. Yeah, but sometimes it's like it can get you in your feels. Like, man, everybody is against me, and like. Yeah. I'm tired of being beat down.
It kind of does the same thing like country music,
Yeah. There's some narratives that are repetitive there.
Yeah.
So, KB's my favorite Christian hip-hop artist. He's fantastic.
Now, but Lecrae is like he's like the main one, right? Like he's won Dove Awards. Has he won a Grammy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think 2 Grammys. I might be wrong about that.
Bad.
But yeah.
Sorry, Lecrae. Didn't mean to short you on a gram. But he's like the main guy. And
he's crazy talented. He's very real. People get very mad about it.
Really?
Yeah, he's definitely said some things that and expressed some opinions, especially during like the 2020 and like the George Floyd and like a lot of the things that were going on in inner cities that made some people upset. But at the same time, he was wrestling with stuff himself, and so I got to give him credit for being real and trying to talk through what he's feeling, what he's seeing, what people are saying to him.
Yeah.
So, anyways, here's what makes him amazing. He created music, and he started building relationships that increased the production value, the sound, the quality of sound of the music. So he always had fire content.
Yeah.
But then, and he could spit, which means he could say lyrics well.
Golly. Thanks for breaking that down.
But he could also, he built relationships and connections to make increase the quality of sound. And then here's what he did. He started finding other people who were talented, your Andy Mineos, he made relationships with your Trip Lee, Tadashi.
Yeah.
And
he
KB,
brought those guys together, right?
Brought them together, and 116 Click, which is based on Romans 1:16, referring to the power of the cross. But then the other thing is he founded a record label. And he said, you know what, we're not going to be subject to these big, massive record labels telling us what works, what doesn't work. We're going to have liberty to make what we want to make. And promote it how we want to promote it and things like that. So he's done a lot. I think his impacts are greater behind the scenes even than what we see.
Yeah. So when did Lecrae get started?
Early mid-2000s, late 2010s, somewhere around there.
So, him doing that in that era, I feel like Christian music was popping off pretty good in the early 2000s.
Contemporary music, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. So to me, again, I did not. Music has never been my thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's never been I like it.
It identified me as a secular kind of like in the inner, like in public school and everything.
Yeah.
That was it was like,
Okay.
are you a freak? Are you like, what do you like?
Yeah.
Are you a
Like band T-shirts,
cowboy
stuff like that.
What are you doing? That kind of thing.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I never was big into music. Still really not.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it, but
Sure.
I would rather listen to talk radio.
Yeah.
But I was big, like, Casting Crowns. Bro,
Oh man.
jam, bro. They
Yes,
were my
yes.
jam. I went to
Will anybody hear her?
yeah,
Oh, my
absolutely, bro. Just wreck you.
So that's a really good example of, I think, and there's others, but like there were messages in their songs.
Dude, they were preaching to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't know preachers could sing like this.
and
Let's go.
and it sounded really good. Like
it did.
there was some stuff you're like, oh, it's kind of jam. This is a jam.
Yeah, and bro, I feel like Casting Crowns is probably the most, whatever they have music that appeals to everybody in my
Yeah,
opinion.
sure.
But to me they've been around. They stood the test of time.
Yeah.
They've done everything. I don't
Yeah.
know.
They're not quite the same, but I think of them when I think of like Mercy Me.
Yeah,
Like that
Mercy Me
kinda-
was on the same level.
Yeah.
Chris Tomlin, I guess, kind of got started at that point.
and really kind of bleeds into the praise and worship category.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk. So there's a band, Skillet.
Skillet. Yeah.
Man, if you listen to their early stuff and their later stuff, totally
Yeah.
different sound. They reinvented themselves, but even just like the production quality, kind of like what like to be taken serious. Like some of the early stuff kind of sounds a little corny. I think Toby Mac, when he went off by himself, did some pretty corny stuff.
Really,
Man,
bro?
like-
I liked it. Like
Oh.
I'm easy to appease because I
Spy
like this.
the eye of apprehension.
Oh, see, I don't even
Like,
know that one.
oh man, that's
But-
like I think that's on Momentum.
That's
Don't
what-
even think for a second you could get with this.
Yeah. I like the
Yeah.
what's that? We've got momentum, baby.
Okay, that's that same album.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man,
It's a good one, bro.
I go back. I try to show Caden. He's like, "Please turn it off, Dad."
Dude, whatever. He just don't know.
Okay, but I will say I went back and looked at his album list, and I'm like, just throwing music out there, portable sounds, amazing.
Diverse City was one of my favorites,
Eye on It, amazing.
Yeah.
Diverse City, amazing.
and he did Renovating Diverse City.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
and then Eye on It was
He's a
all
creative,
mixed
though.
up, dude. He is, bro. He's so
Yeah.
good, man.
And like great like stage presence. I've heard a lot of good things. So that's another reason I like KB. But I think Toby Mac's known for this too. You'll go to a show and it's like we're gonna have a good time. We're
Yeah.
gonna put on a show, and I'm gonna sneak some word in for you.
Yeah, so I was going Winter Jam.
Okay.
I was going to Winter Jam. It was when we were leaving Louisiana. We had all these students on this bus, and we were headed to Winter Jam. And we left a little bit late. Some kids were late. We had to stop like 4 times. We were headed to Winter Jam. Toby Mac is headlining the
Okay.
thing. And again,
That sounds
huge
cool.
Toby Mac fan.
Yep,
And,
same.
And we got there, and my buddy who had drove, he was walking up the stairs, walked inside. I'm 20 feet behind him, and then they shut it down. They were like fire marshal close, and I'm just standing.
Like they were at capacity.
Yes, they were at capacity, and I'm standing there watching my friend walk in to see just Toby Mac, bro. I was like, no. So, anyways, we went to the boardwalk, and I got a caramel apple, but so that was about the same. But yeah, it was, dude. It was.
Sorry, Toby.
Yeah. I'm eating up my caramel apple. It was so. I'll never forget watching him walk up the stairs and walk in, and I'm just like, why? Oh, what? If we wouldn't have stopped to go to the bathroom, if somebody,
Yeah,
I had
if you
plenty
wouldn't
of
have missed
people
that exit.
Yeah, I wasn't driving. That was pre-miss exit days.
Yeah.
We're not gonna talk about that.
I'm
on
gonna
this
work
podcast.
this into an intro for you at some point. It's gonna be something about there's something. I'm gonna have to reference it because you've become notorious for
Yeah.
driving right on. by,
Okay,
bro.
so I do.
What do you
I
do?
do drive, but are you like when I drive? I go into another
Sure,
world, dude.
sure.
I mean, I am just.
I do too. What I'm giving you grief about right now, I do a little bit.
Bro, I've so many times have shown up to places and been like, how did I get here? And I'm driving.
That's me going to work and home.
Yeah, I just start thinking about stuff. I'm just like playing out all this goofiness in my head, or I'll be listening to something and just, I don't drive 10 and 2, but I'm just like, and I do another thing that I do that I'm really bad at is, another thing that I do that I'm really bad about is, I'll go really slow. Now I'm a slow driver already. I'm a Pavol driver already.
No.
But I will get in the fast lane and go like 5 miles an hour slower, and I can feel the rage when I finally wake up and I look and just grandma's even back there like, get out of the way.
Yeah, people just aggressively cutting you off.
Dude, I can't tell you.
I'm probably a more aggressive driver than I should be.
Really?
Not like not like mad. Not at all. I'm having a good time. For me, it's fun.
It's a game to you.
Yeah, we're gonna race people. You want to race? I'm just having a good time.
I can't. I've never been a fast driver, but I've never had a car that would take me to go fast.
So okay, have you ever been? Or have you seen the show The Amazing Race? Mm-mm. Okay, so it's basically
I know about it, but
these guys race around the world and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things you got to do is you get in these other countries.
But it's like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah. And you might have to drive a car from across the city, find a thing, take a picture, meet a character, grab a clue, go to the next spot. So sometimes you're in these foreign countries, and we're always in foreign countries, and you're trying to navigate. You have a map. They don't have they don't have their phone or anything like that.
I'd be in a world of hurt.
And so
a map.
Old enough to have had my first job using a Mapsco. So
what is that, like MapQuest? I remember MapQuest.
Love the fact that you're asking.
Yeah, 40.
So I'm not going to explain it. People look it up, Google it. Okay. So in the process of getting around, sometimes they got to drive a standard, 6 shift, or they have to drive on the other side of the road.
So they just hop out and walk.
Yeah. So like all the young kids, kid knows how to do it.
They're like, "What do you want me to do? There's levers in the middle of this thing."
So many grinded gears on the Amazing Race. I was just about to make a joke about which gender is more likely to grind the gears, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to keep moving
because we all know it's women. Go ahead.
So
not really. If I'm driving, bro, I'd be like,
I was going to crush me.
Yeah.
So anyway, I always joke about. I'm like, Darla, if we went on the Amazing Race, who's going to drive? Because I'm the navigator, But I can't have her just letting people go. Yeah. She's a little more passive driver. So she'd be, I'm like, get out there. She's like, they're not going to let me in. I'm like, well, if you get out there, you're in.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. I'm going to be like, well, they're probably in a hurry and I'm not. They're probably, something's probably going on in their life. Just come on by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. Yeah. I'm jumping out there. Actually, let me bring you back. So I was going to talk about just like music. I went through a stage where like I'm like, some stuff can be kind of, maybe is it too wild, or should I be listening to like certain styles and things like that? But I'll tell you what, I referenced Skillet earlier. There's a song called "Better Than Drugs."
Okay, I heard it, but I don't think I've. Yeah, I remember seeing it, but I don't think I've listened to it.
This, I mean, it's wild, right? This is kind of ridiculous, but I'll just tell you, like, the whole premise of the song. So it's like, you're better than drugs. Your love is like wine. I feel it coming in so fast. You're coming in to get me high, or something like that. But like I'm addicted for life. Anyways, the verses, he just kind of explores that, like a lot of people are looking for something and they're turning to everything else in life. They're going to alcohol, they're going to drugs. They're like looking for something that's going to fulfill them, give them a high or whatever. And he's like, but God, you're better than that. And it's like a rocky song. It's like a metal sounding song. But I remember I was listening to that, and it brought me back to like when I was going through my little like heavy metal stage as a teenager. Yeah. I got my Jinkos on. People don't know what those are. Whatever. I have my band shirt, my dog choker, my whatever hair. I was just doing this thing as a teenager. I would have loved to see that, Mike. Yeah. I would have loved to see that. Not a lot of photos out there of it. And my hair plaited like Brian Head Welch from Korn. But anyways, I think back to that. And like the friends that I had that were like really getting into the drug scene and all that kind of stuff, and the opportunity for parties and stuff. And it was in that point in my life that God opened a door and started dealing with me, and I prayed through and started reading the Bible, and family, my dad took us to church, and all this stuff happened, and I just like that almost like corny sounding song like spoke to me, and I just remember like worshiping and like praying and crying and being like, as weird as this sounds, I wish my friends had this message, because I know what they were looking for and not finding, and God is like everything they need. So for me, it's like, it's always been like, what are the lyrics communicating? I need it to speak to me in some kind of way, and I can have fun too. I like the fun stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think, because I really love like instrumental music.
Yeah.
Do you think that instrumental music still communicates a message?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it all goes kind of back to like the artist. What's the artist's intention?
I think that's in there. I think there's just something about, I mean, I bet there's folks we could probably at some point talk to on this podcast that would love to get deep into that.
Yeah.
But like, there's something about when I'm watching a Star Wars film, or if I'm looking at something like that, the music is so good.
It's amazing.
And it like goes with the scene, and you take that out and it doesn't
nothing.
work.
Yeah.
So I think that's that means that there's like emotion communicated without the lyric content, for sure.
Totally. Because I mean, you think about any movie that you watch, when it's like hits a high point, and either it's suspenseful, which I think would be kind of funny.
Like if we could have that in real life.
Yeah, or if you did like a scary movie, but it was like love music behind it, like it changes everything.
You're like, what's wrong with this movie? It's hitting.
Some guy's about to like get murdered by this monster coming out of the dark, and all you hear is Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On."
No, there's definitely something to it, and like I think there's all different kinds of stuff. I'll get in a mood where I just want to hear a different, like I don't want to hear like Christian hip hop or rap.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
so I'll flip over. And I've been on this. We went to like a concert, and there was Brandon Lake, Phil Wickham.
Yeah, it was great.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
and so I've really been on a kick of just kind of anything that Apple Music recommends that's similar to that. I've just been exploring it.
Apple Music over Spotify?
Yeah, just because it's native on my phone. Haven't messed with it. I need to create a Spotify account, because then when I go to share music with friends who don't have
it was
Apple,
me. You sent me that song. I haven't listened to it. I'm telling you that now in front of everyone, so you don't get mad at me.
All right. Well, it's a great song.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to it
Find
on
it
Spotify.
on YouTube or something.
Like an old person. Yeah, I'm going to listen to it. I like Red Rocks. They're good. I don't know who my favorites now would be.
Yeah.
I feel like I just like songs. I don't really like bands.
Yeah.
I was listening to something the other day. It was Maverick City, like you don't know how on Spotify, but probably on Apple Music. There's this thing where it's like, this is, Maverick City or Brandon Lake, and it's just like a compilation of all their stuff between
multiple albums,
live,
everything,
albums, all that. And I don't know what happened, but some kind of explicit song got into this Maverick City playlist. And I'm over here like, yes, God, I'm praying. And then there's just blankety blank. I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, I'm sorry, Jesus. I didn't know this was going to happen in just 1 second.
This has happened to me twice. So there's a artist. So there's a KB who is not. So like I say that, and like earlier somebody Googles him and like finds the explicit version.
Yeah.
So there's some other guy named KB or whatever who goes by that, and it's not the Kevin Burgess in Tampa, Florida, but it's explicit.
Oh.
And so a lot of times if I'm doing that, it'll bring in one of his songs.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I'm like, this is, come on.
Yeah,
You're smarter than this.
Yeah, come on, algorithm. This is what you were made to do.
Who's the one who does that Chainbreaker song?
Zach Williams?
Zach Williams.
Yeah.
There's also but it's a totally different genre. There's like a rapper, Zach Williams.
Oh.
So I'm listening to Zach Williams one day talking about how God's a chain breaker.
Yeah.
And then the next one was, I mean, it opened up hot. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
With young people in the car.
Did you? You're like, guys, listen, we got to make good choices here. Yeah. This KB song is really good. Yeah. Did you watch BOTT?
No.
Okay, so you said Zach Williams. That's why I'm referencing this.
Okay.
Brother Mangan, I guess it was Wednesday night, I think. He played, he was preaching, and he was talking about how the gospel is getting spread around the world. And he played a song by Zach Williams, but he was like this country music artist. And like I think I think
Zach's a
Zach
little
Williams.
bummed.
I was like, I think he's a Christian music artist.
yeah.
But the point was the same. Like
Sure.
it didn't hinder the point at all. But and
Maybe he was trying to send a subtle message.
yeah. And he was like, Zach, you need to come on back, Bubba. But the song was like Revival, I think, or something. I can't remember the name of it. My phone is.
I'm probably gonna mess it up. Oh, there's like an old church choir one. There's,
it's that same kind of feel,
sound,
but
okay.
it's that Revival. I don't
good
know,
stuff. He's got great content too.
He's good. Yeah, he's good.
Okay, so I gotta shift gears here a little
Okay,
bit.
let's do it.
So when I first met you, we were talking. I think we were trying to figure out where to, eat or something. And you told me this is like you have a self-proclaimed quest.
Yeah, for sure.
Was your word.
Yeah.
So you know exactly what I'm
I
talking
already
about.
know what you're gonna say.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So what's this quest you're on?
So I said that one of my purposes in life is to find the best cheeseburger.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you feel like you're doing?
I feel like I'm doing okay.
All right.
And I feel like I've eaten a lot of burgers, which makes me also say that I don't feel like I'm doing okay. Okay, so I think you can get pretty deep on this.
Okay, so yeah, I want to talk about do you have some highly overrated? Do you have some highly underrated?
I have some overrated ones.
Okay.
And I'm about to make some enemies.
No chance.
Yeah.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I think I remember now because this was something that went through First Cut.
Okay.
All right, so I do remember. I'm not going to guess.
Okay.
Lay it out there. You're going to say it, not me.
I hate Whataburger.
Well, hey guys, thanks for sticking around. We're glad you made it this far.
0 subscribers. Hate mail flagged on YouTube.
Why do you hate that? Why do you hate the
It's a
Texas Whataburger?
Yeah, it's a Texas thing for sure.
I'm gonna come back to that, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't grow up eating Whataburger, so
Okay.
like this Whataburger didn't come into my life until I was married. So I was in
Yeah.
my 20s, and when I ate it, I was like, it's a little bit better than.
It's trying to figure out how much do I want to insult.
Yeah. I'm about to throw. We're gonna be real. We talked about that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better than McDonald's, in my opinion. Oh. Yeah. I'm just not, bro. I feel like trash after I eat it.
By the way, great chicken McNuggets, and I like their fries.
Dude, I'm not hating on McDonald's. Yeah.
Burgers though,
Yeah, they're not real. They're not good.
not good.
So yeah, Whataburger is on the very bottom of my list.
We call it Whataburger.
Yeah, Whataburger.
It's
Yeah.
frustrating. I haven't been there, I think, in multiple years. I don't even know how many years it's been.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I refuse to wait like 45 minutes for them to figure out how to grill a burger.
Yeah, and jury's still out on if they're actually grilling it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. How fresh is it? There's times I get it. I'm like, what do you?
Yeah.
There's no difference.
You pull this out of the fridge.
I think I'm joining your
Yeah,
coup.
yeah.
This is a problem.
You're welcome to the light.
Golly.
Also, okay, another.
Oh, by the way, hold on real quick before we
Okay,
go
yeah,
anywhere.
yeah.
So folk Texans will tell you
Okay.
it's gone downhill since some Yankees bought it.
Okay.
Because I think some company up in the north bought them or something.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, hey, listen, I'm just telling you my experience. I
Yeah.
can only tell you the thing. I can only speak my truth.
I also I also almost died from food poisoning.
From Whataburger?
Yeah, I didn't. Okay, that's a
that
little
makes
dramatic.
sense.
I was deathly sick. I was
Yeah.
not in a good way.
Yeah.
I called my dad. I was like, "Hey, this is before I got married. I was single. I had my own apartment,
Yeah.
and I was like, need you to come over here and pray for me because this might be it."
Yeah.
And I was throwing up every 20 minutes like
Oh.
clockwork for hours, and I had an apple pie and milk.
That's it?
Yeah, man.
What do you think did it? The apple pie or the milk?
I think
Probably the
one
milk.
multiplied the other.
Yeah.
That's probably what. Some weird fermented apple situation.
You
Throw
drink
some
regular
on.
milk?
Oh, so much.
Really?
I'm a problem.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Okay, Darla doesn't touch the stuff. She's no dairy, no lactose, whatever.
Bro, I do not. I drink Lactaid.
I'm a child. I'm going through like 2% preferably, but I'll drink whole milk, not touching the
Really?
cloudy water, whatever that is, 1%.
Oh man, that is so thick.
Yeah, but I'm crushing like, and it'll like ebb and flow, but we'll crush like a gallon between my son and I, a gallon every 2 days.
What?
Yeah. So I'm doing about a half a gallon
Whoa, breaking news.
every
man.
2 days per person. Yeah, quart a day.
Okay, but I have a hot
Cereal,
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of
Yeah.
the above. But I'm a big
Borden's
Stilla
chocolate milk is next level though.
fan. Okay, that's not. No, I'm
Yeah,
here.
Borden's, bro. Let's go.
If Caden's a big chocolate milk drinker, that's my son, right? So
Okay.
he might keep this thing to adulthood because it hasn't changed, hasn't slowed down.
Yeah, that's
anywhere
fine.
I go, if we're on the road trip, anything, he's like, give me a chocolate milk. He doesn't want a Nesquik. He doesn't want a
Yoo-hoos aren't real chocolate
yeah,
milk.
that's chocolate drink.
It is.
Darla hates them. I kind of think they're good.
I do too.
But what's the other, like the True Moo? He doesn't want that. He doesn't want Fairlife.
Fairlife, yeah.
He's like, get me a Borden. If it's in there, that's what we want.
I knew I like Caden.
Promised Land is probably right up there with it, but they're not everywhere.
Is that the one you got to take the bottle back?
No, that's like that's another Vollemans. That's a Texas
What kind of
thing.
nonsense is that?
You know how I can just rattle off all these milk names?
Bro,
It's
yeah,
weird.
you are an absolute unit when it comes to milk. Okay.
But yeah, so anyway, we crush it. Okay, so let's
right.
get off of Whataburger. Let's get back to the.
So, yeah. So
Do you
I
have
know what I was
more
gonna say.
underrated stuff? Or
Yeah, okay. I have an underrated one that
Okay.
a lot of people don't like because of the price.
okay,
But it's Five Guys.
Oh,
okay.
okay. I like Five Guys.
I am with a lot of people on. I do not want to pay $27.50 for a burger and fries. Okay,
Okay, fair
I'm
enough.
with you. But if you're looking at overall taste,
yeah,
it's good.
yeah,
It is good.
sure.
So I really enjoy that.
Oh, so you wind up okay. So you switched on me. So yeah, they are good, and the spicy fries that they got,
I like them.
those are great too.
I like them. But is that fast? That's not fast food though, right?
No,
I'm not even
is that like
talking about-
counter service or something. It's a little different.
And to me, the best burgers are not in fast food joints. They're not
Okay.
in Five Guys. I'm just
Okay.
talking about what's attainable. My favorite burger is a local to Fort Worth barbecue
Yeah,
joint, and it is
is that Bricks or
it's called Bricks. It's a local to Fort Worth.
you took us there one time and it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's really really good. So that's really good.
Where's In and Out on the list? That's another. People would say that's the bet. Like some folks would tell you worth waiting in line for.
Bro,
No, oh, so you're putting it down there too.
nope. It's really high on my list.
Oh, it's really high. Okay.
Yes, I like Five Guys a lot.
Okay.
I mean, excuse me, In and Out.
In and Out, yeah.
Okay, this is crazy.
You gonna talk about Bible verses?
No.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
This.
I tried to do a Romo and it did not work.
No, I'm not.
Romadamus.
Swerve. They opened a Five Guys in Idaho,
Okay.
and the wait for that line was like hours. There were people reporting on it, like the news, and they did this drone, and it was just insane. I think they said that the wait time was like, I'm not even, now this was like probably some crazy news source, but
Yeah.
it was like 6 hours.
I'm not fiending for anything like that in my
I'm like,
life.
bro, what are we doing?
If the line's wrapped around the building, I'm not getting in it.
No.
We're good.
It is a great burger, but it's not. Again, when you talk about
To me, they're a Chick-fil-A equivalent. It's
Yeah.
very good. I'm not saying it's the best thing on the planet Earth.
Yeah, well,
but
easy.
but their service is fantastic, and their consistency is on point, and the branding is fun, and like so.
yeah, I've never been, and I get the same thing. I'm easy when I go to In and Out. I don't know why I try to keep calling it Five Guys. When I go to In and Out,
Double.
I'm a double
Cheese.
with cheese
Okay.
and grilled onions and
Okay.
nothing else.
Okay.
I got the palate of an 8-year-old when it
Yeah.
comes to a burger, but I want to taste.
You don't want that Thousand Island sauce with the little.
I actually don't like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Freddy's
I
does
go
the same
mustard.
thing.
I go mustard there.
See, and I hate mustard
Oh.
and pickles. Freddy's does the same thing though. They do that Thousand Island stuff.
Bro.
Freddy smacks too though.
I don't like pickles. One time when we're dating, Darla brought me a Chick-fil-A sandwich,
Yeah.
which I knew she was the one
Yeah.
right there,
Yeah,
right?
I was. So what else do you need?
But she should have questioned whether I was the one because it had pickles on it, and I can't.
I hate them.
And I got to pick the bread that touched the pickle because now it's got pickle juice on it.
Juices.
So that's got to go, and the breading on the chicken that got touched by the pickles, and she's kind of embarrassed for me at that moment.
Yeah.
Wondered if I was ever going to be a real man.
Yeah.
And but we got married, so it worked out.
Well, that's good.
But anyway, but
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, those I haven't found the world's greatest, but
Yeah.
right now that Bricks is pretty solid.
I'm here for like a small town diner burger when
love
I'm
'em.
traveling.
Yeah, I want a greasy spoon
Yeah.
where some lady in the back or some man in the back is cooking it,
Yeah.
and they have just a really bad attitude.
Okay.
And
Yeah, yeah.
if they yell at me, that enhances the experience. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And so-
that is a hallmark of like a good like greasy spoon diner burger.
I want somebody
situation.
who's been back there cooking it since he started out or she started out as a kid when the owner started the restaurant.
Yeah.
And then they grew up, the owner died. They think they
Yeah.
run the restaurant, but it's really the owner's son or daughter. And they've just been there.
Can't do it without me.
Yeah, they were there. They tell stories like, I remember when we put this grill in
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
this flat top in here. You know how many burgers I've cooked on this flat top?
All right, here for it. All right,
All right. Well, I think that's probably a good place to stop.
I guess we can wrap it up.
Yeah, I
That's
think
enough.
so. Hey, listen, guys, appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching whatever this was. We don't know, but we are going to get to some more questions. And listen, it would really help us out if you guys could comment some things, text us some stuff to talk about. We have other things that we're going to talk about when it gets to from your comments on Facebook.
Yep.
But yeah, comment on this video, drop us a like, subscribe, and that would really help us out to accomplish whatever we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, if we haven't already, maybe we'll stand up an Instagram page or something, or at least reference it on our personals. So yeah, get after it. And I'll tell you, like, there's already some stuff thrown out there that I'm interested in diving into.
Oh, for sure.
So
Angels,
keep that up.
all that cool stuff.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Before I open my big mouth, I need to go read some stuff.
Yeah, me too. Oh, that's funny. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to All Things Are Potable. We'll see you next time.